All right, now we checking that mic real quick. 1 2 1 2. OCO. I hope y'all can hear me. The mic is good over there. Let me know if I'm loud and clear real quick. Sorry about the slight delay. I had to wait for the mic to get heated up over here. We clear? Okay, cool. Make sure I got everything in. Here we go. You still ain't watched the stream from yesterday? All right, stream over with. I'm cutting it off. It's all good. I mean, hey, I'm gonna give you a break probably over the weekend because I got a couple things I got to do over the weekend. Yeah. I'm just making up for the stuff that I did miss, like at the time I did miss. You know, we working on a lot of things behind the scenes. So I'm making up for it. I told y'all yesterday I was gonna go live today. People ain't believe me. Here I am now. Yeah, M16 made that beat. Shout out to M16. M16 made that beat y'all hearing right now. Alabama, what up? Hold up, y'all. I'm still getting together a couple of things over here on my side. I be needing that 5 minutes low key. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Okay. See, okay. Like y'all don't understand, like all these graphics and stuff like that, I'm doing, you know what I mean? And that take a little second to make sure everything is up and running properly, because sometimes it'll get to shaking if I don't got it right. But I wanted to make sure everything was straight. Now I know yesterday when I was listening back, y'all hear that now, right? Hold on, let me check and see how that sounds, the notification one. Hold up. Okay, yeah. That's low. Remember, okay, yesterday during the live stream, I noticed that my notification Thunderbird that's popping up when y'all, join as members and subscribe and stuff like that and donate, that notification was way too loud. And I had to put my little tutelage on it to make sure it's back to where it's supposed to be. And because it was right along with me during my speech, like when I was talking, you hearing the whoosh, you heard all the effects and everything. That was funny. It was cool though, but nah, that's not how it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be in the background. You see how it when Deshaun became a member like that, and see how that notification pop up? I'm talking about that. The sound effect of that was too loud yesterday, so I fixed that. So we should be good now. We should be good. Let me pull that up, by the way. Let me shout y'all out real quick and make sure it happened before we get started. Couple things I want to get into. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm hungry. I haven't ate all day. I've been working all day. My wife cooking this time. She on it. And I'm going to be late with the dinner. She probably done, but yeah, so I'm not going to be, I'm going to tell y'all up front, I'm not going to be 4 hours tonight. I got to give me something to eat. Okay. But we are going to make it impactful regardless. It ain't going to be 30 minutes. I can tell you that. Let me see. Hold on. Let me pull it up real quick. Wow. A lot of people started following me on Twitch. Shout out to those of you that's following me on Twitch. I am receiving those notifications. I'm paying attention to that because I'm going to eventually start streaming on both platforms. I know a couple people were asking me to stream on Twitch at the same time. We are working on that. But I have my tech guy that's doing this stuff for me as far as my tech. I got him on something else that's a way bigger project. And once he got some time, I'm gonna pull him away from that and take care of that while I'm streaming on both platforms. Shout out to y'all that did do that, though. I appreciate that. James Stone been a member for 22 months in a row. And Deshaun, thank you for becoming a member as well. I appreciate that. Those of you that probably didn't stick around for the entire live stream yesterday and y'all donated, became a member, stuff like that. If you would like to hear that I gave you a shout out, you would need to go at the near the end of that live stream, because I did end up doing shout outs at the end of that live stream. Sharon, thank you for the Cash App, Sharon. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's a big one. I appreciate that. I see you, Los Angeles. What up, Alabama? Yeah, yesterday's stream was definitely fire. I agree. Serene Princess been a member for 41 months in a row. Oh, CEO, glad I caught this one. Absolutely. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Because a lot of people were asking me to, put out part 2. And I want to put out part 2, but I tested the waters during last night's stream, and I realized even my mother called me with a question, and I was like, hold up, let me go over this, because there's some critical information that I put inside of part 1 dealing with this topic that you're seeing. Before I even get into part 2, I need you guys to understand, because when we talking about solutions here, the only way we're going to get to the solution is if you understand the problem in detail. There's no beating around the bush about it. No, it's not going to be a quick recap. I'm going to do it all over. Like, you're going to see. I'm going to play that. We're going to talk bit by bit, because I got to make sure that's embedded. And here's another thing. even though some of you guys are out there still may not get it, that's fine. Just tag along, okay? We're still going to be breaking that down. Tag along. So when I do eventually put out part 2, you know, even if it may not connect, watch part 1 a couple times. And again, I'm about to go over that right now during this live stream. So if you hear live, you know, y'all can start dropping questions, you know, be for real now. Now, don't give me a whole paragraph and I can't read it. Like, drop a direct question. I'll be able to answer it the best of my ability. Anthony, thank you for being a member for 40 months in a row. I appreciate that, Anthony. Jeez, Mr. Jonathan West. What up, Jonathan? Been a member for 69 months in a row. Jay Martin been a member for 10 months in a row. He said Oseo from Columbus, Georgia. What up, Columbus, Georgia? What's going on? Now, y'all know, I've been hearing some rumors. That boy talking about me again. I don't know why he keep talking about me. To bring this up real quick, I said all we gotta do is set up the debate. We put up 50 for the guy. He running scared, you know, talking about something. Nah, I'm afraid for you to bring up the school that he created. Remember, he went live and said,
I will not be debating Dane Calloway.
that boy is scared. That boy is scared, man. So when I got that word that he wanted some smoke, I felt real good, bruh. I was like, oh yeah, he wants some smoke for real? You mean we actually about to do this thing? We about to debate for real? I felt like The Rock. I was like,
finally.
I'm just saying. That's the rumor. So once it gets to my team and we set that up officially, I'm gonna let y'all know. Like, it's been past time. Sarah, thank you for being a member for 28 months in a row. Gratitude for your teachings. Thank you. I appreciate that, sister. Let me drop a bomb. Deja Vu, what up? OCO,
free thinkers.
Been a member for 42 months in a row. Yeah, he was the main one. You know, the CIA op, main one coming out there. He the Prince of Pan-African. He the Prince of Pan-Goofyianism. That's who he is. He swear to God he African.
No, you're not. Yeah, no, you're not. No, you're not. Stop.
He know better than that. He know better than that, bro. We're from Africa. He never told you the tribe or nothing. Goofing around and everything, man. He need to
stop it. Get some help.
I'ma stop. I could go all day long. I did that too. I took time and put some things to the side where I could just hit a button. I could go all day long with that. I'm gonna leave it alone though. All right, so let's get into this information. The first thing I want to talk about, I know it's a lot. Yeah, he is the Prince of Pan-Goofian. Prince of Pan-Goofyism. Yes. There's some, misinformation going around about the birthright citizenship dealing with Trump's main move, as far as trying to do away with it and revamp it. Now, I brought this up yesterday because I knew I was going to drop part 2, but based off of the, the responses I saw, I was like, damn. Like, it was like the majority of the people caught it. I'm not saying y'all didn't catch it, okay? I'm not saying that. I could even tell from the comments of the video that y'all caught it. But I saw other people, like, still asking questions, which is fine. That's what I'm here for. And I was like, wait a minute. All right, so it's not making sense to him. I got to make it connect. I'm a teacher. Okay. Before anything, before writer, before producer, you know, but I'm a teacher. I gotta do it the best way that I know how. Okay. And again, even if you don't catch it tonight, it's still gonna be more information to follow up on that. And it made you, you know, you may go back and start watching certain things that I'm talking about, all correlating with what he's doing. Now, do I agree with what he's doing? Yes. Yes, I'm talking about Donald Trump. Now, again, I'm not the Trumper type of guy. I'm not the Republican Democrat type of guy. But yes, this move is major. This move is major. This is, of course, exposing the people that it needs to expose. I'm about to play that. We're about to get into it so you can understand where I'm coming from. And of course, I'm going to give my take. Where I feel as though like something needs to be said, I'm going to pause it and we're going to talk about that. But let me set this up right now. Well, I love my intro anyway. I'm going to let my intro short. I'm going to play it anyway. Let me make sure y'all can see this on y'all side. Yeah, here we go. I'm sorry, y'all. I know my beats are playing in the back. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. OCO Freethinkers, I want to apologize for the delay and for not making this a live stream where I discussed this topic many of you have asked me to cover. So to make things right, I chose to produce a few videos on it because I want to cover it in detail. Right, and I did. And because originally, don't forget, this was supposed to be a live stream. And that's why I was like, and I don't want to miss nothing. And again, I touched on it, a sprinkle of it yesterday, and I saw some responses. I was like, yeah, man, they still need more information. And ensure. So I got to go over this one. I'll consider it part one. That said, let's get right into it. Millions of people are becoming aware of the teachings I have shared and presented on YouTube and other social media platforms. Man, it's amazing to witness how this development is helping us progress positively as a society. This is especially significant considering that we all been misled regarding our history as the indigenous people of America. Some of y'all may still know some folks on YouTube and other places who will still believe that their ancestors were somehow stolen from an undisclosed location in Africa by some big, bad white Europeans who couldn't even afford a boat, let alone know how to build one, especially at that time. Y'all was saying that it was low. I just turned it up. Is that better? I turned it up on my side. That was better, right? Right at the end. Yeah, that was better. Like right here.
And let me tell you something.
That's better. Okay. I mean, I wasn't really saying. I was just warming it up. Millions of people are becoming aware of the teachings I have shared and presented on YouTube and other social media platforms. Man, it's amazing to witness how this development is helping us progress positively as a society. This is especially significant considering that we all been misled regarding our history as the indigenous people of America. Some of y'all may still know some folks on YouTube and other places who will still believe that their ancestors were somehow stolen from an undisclosed location in Africa by some big, bad white Europeans who couldn't even afford a boat, let alone know how to build one. I went over this Easter egg before, and I know I was going to make it an Easter egg Sunday, and I was kind of giving y'all a heads up. So I'm going to play that one more time, and you pay attention to what I'm pointing at. You saw that? Okay. Shout out to Amani. What's going on, Chief? This how you? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make that an Easter egg. Even though I went over that before, I did. I made that a full-fledged video. But I said, yeah, look where I paused that. I do stuff on purpose, but anyway. Still believe that their ancestors were somehow stolen from an undisclosed location in Africa by some big, bad white Europeans who couldn't even afford a boat, let alone know how to build one, especially at that time. Right.
Man, let me tell you something. This man is unstoppable.
We'll get into that in a second, but let's see why
What
we
up,
will
angry man?
first. On January 20th, 2025, Donald
Here we
Trump,
go.
the new president of the U.S., signed an executive order called Protecting the Meaning and Value of American Citizenship.
This next order relates to the definition of birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment of the United States.
That's a good one. Birthright. That's a big one.
What about that one in this course? That one is likely to be challenged.
Could be. We think we have good grounds, but you could be right. I mean, you'll find out. It's ridiculous. We're the only country in the world that does this with birthright, as you know. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. But, we'll see. We think we have very good grounds.
Sir,
People have wanted to do this for decades.
Sir, this is a proclamation declaring a national
Thank
Now,
you for
I will
becoming
read
a
this
member.
to you because there's a lot of misinformation about what this is and what it means for particular people. Before I go any further, I will break this down so everyone can understand this portion. It starts off by saying, quote, "By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered, Section 1, purpose, the privilege of United States citizenship is a priceless and profound gift. The 14th Amendment states, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. That provision rightfully repudiated the Supreme Court of the United States' shameful decision in Dred Scott versus Sanford
We
in
gonna get into that too.
1857, which misinterpreted the Constitution as permanently excluding people of African descent from eligibility for United States citizenship solely based on their race. In other words, they are acknowledging that the U.S. Supreme Court purposely misinterpreted the Constitution in 1857 during the Dred Scott case, where they made it seem as if the Constitution permanently excludes people of African descent from becoming or being United States citizens based on their race.
All right, hold on. Before I go any further, you guys are familiar with the Dred Scott decision, correct? I'm looking at chat. Let's just be clear real quick. Let's make sure, because I want that to be known of what he went through. And it went all the way to the Supreme Court. He went through local courts and it went all the way to the Supreme Court. And it was technically Chief Justice Taney, the one that you see right here, was saying that I'm trying to remember his quote. He said that the white man, Okay, to paraphrase it, the whites at that time were the only people that were able to be citizens. Okay? Because they were the only citizens. And I pointed that out as well. I gave you the legislation in another video. In fact, I believe I played a portion of it in here. So let me not jump the gun, but I do want to play a different video quickly on this note about the nationality portion because, I'm jumping. But okay, the last video, the last live stream, I talked about nationality and I was pointing that out. I was purposely pointing that out, remember? And I said, look at Kendrick Lamar's jacket. He had national on it, right? I was talking about the term national. I said nationality. I was talking about the term national, right? So on his jacket, it was national. And I was talking about all those holidays that the government doesn't recognize as a holiday, per se, okay? They're not official. This is the reason why Trump and other presidents will have to consistently write proclamations to say that they recognize it, okay, as a celebration, not as an official holiday. American Indian Heritage Month, Black History Month, right? National. We went over that during the last live stream. I was touching on that to let you guys know of a hint. And you're going to hear it here as well because I was referring to this portion about the Trump administration telling you that there's a difference between a national and a citizen. And I always mentioned that we made a mistake by becoming citizens. We did not need to become citizens. A citizen is a person that's being governed by a foreign entity. In this case, it's going to be the U.S. government. I said foreign entity, but it could be any entity, any government body. Okay? But I'm saying that this government is foreign. It's being ran by the foreigners. I proved that on many occasions. So I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. But the reason why that is so important is because this government, with it being foreign, is only going to provide for its own people. Not referring to Americans. That's what you guys need to understand. It's only going to be referring to those people that they feel as though they should be supporting, which is going to be other foreigners that they can relate to by way of their bloodline. And this has been written and written in law. For example, the forefathers, right, that, they allegedly created the Constitution. Who are those people? Remember they said, we the people, and what was it, last year or year before last, and I was trying to show y'all how Joe Biden kind of, exposed that portion, and he was like, we the people, the government. Y'all remember that video, right? And he was like, America, as great as it sounds, we the people are the government. Remember he said that verbatim? Verbatim. So what I was saying was, look, the reason why I'm telling you guys that this was important is because you're looking at a problem that you're facing as citizens. Allowing yourself to attach to citizenship did away with so many different things. In another video, I showed you that our people lost their land, our people lost their jobs, our people lost their businesses and homes as soon as they signed up to become electors. That was coming out of their own mouth. Don't worry about them saying I'm putting out misinformation. Don't worry about that. Let them hate in the chat. That's what the chat is for. They could get their opinions out. But again, that's their opinion. That doesn't mean that it's true. None of those fools will be able to debunk me at all. They don't come up on a panel, show no information, no nothing, right? So let them give their opinions in the chat. Don't worry about them. Keep it moving. Like, I've been doing this for years and not one person stepped up to the plate. We already know Umar's scared. So what makes you think them folks ain't scared? Hiding behind avatars, they never show their face. I know better than that. But yeah, so I want to play this. Since you don't believe me, listen to a white man say it.
The Dred Scott decision, which was handed down by the Supreme Court in 1857, is one of the most famous or infamous decisions in all of the history of the Supreme Court. And it arose out of some complicated issues, but what it basically had to do with was the power of Congress to prohibit slavery in the Western territories. Dred Scott had been brought as a slave into the territory of Wisconsin, where slavery had been barred by Congress, and later he sued for his freedom on the ground that he had been in a place where slavery had been abolished and therefore should be considered free. And this goes all the way up through various courts, and the Supreme Court eventually rules, no, Dred Scott's not free, because two reasons. One, Congress does not have the right to prohibit slavery in the territories, and this basically declares the Republican Party unconstitutional.
Listen. So who abolished slavery if Congress didn't have the power to get rid of it?
The Republican platform, Lincoln's platform, which is to prohibit slavery in the territories, the Supreme Court said you can't do that. Slavery has a right to go anywhere within the country in a territory, not a state. A state can abolish slavery. Illinois did, but the...
Stop. Not a state, a territory. See, that's the difference. Also, another difference between a national and a citizen. That's another difference between a national and a citizen. I'm about to drop something on y'all that y'all probably never heard before. Listen to me very closely. You could take this and run with it. A U.S. national, that person, that individual, for example, I'm just saying, there's a clear difference. Even though they want to say that they're the same, they're not. They want to claim that they're synonymous. They are two different things. A U.S. national is a person who has the irrevocable right to reside in the territory of the United States without limitation. Irrevocable right to reside in the territory of the United States without limitation. A citizen has limitations. They're not irrevocable. It could be revoked. You claim that you're a citizen, you can't be deported. They could revoke. That's what irrevocable means. Well, correction, revocable means. Irrevocable means they can't do that. Revocable means they could take it away from you. They gave you citizenship, they could take it away. They are limited. They are limited. Okay? That's not unlimited. They are limited as a citizen. This is another reason why that's not working in our favor when the majority of our people are claiming that they're black, claiming that they're African American, because what are you tying yourself to? You're not tying yourself to the Indian territory. You're not tying yourself to the Indian territory. You claiming that you came from Africa. Where? Because they can easily revoke your status as being a citizen and push you over there quickly. Now, what you gonna say? Oh, no, Dane, they can't do that. That's illegal. I got a birth certificate. I got a social security number. This is their own law. This is their own law. This is not me making this up. You could pull this up. That's a U.S. national. That's the difference between a national and a citizen. They could pull a plug on a citizen at any time. They can't touch a national. I tell the people advice, like they be, people out there talking about some get revocable trust. They could touch a revocable trust. They could touch it. That could be made public, right? Your house will go on probate, all your property, everything. No, but when you get an irrevocable trust, can't touch nothing. I mean, for real, if you in the comment section thinking I'm wrong, put out a video and prove me wrong. Otherwise, I dare you. I've been doing this for a long ass time. You in my comment section. Learning. If anything, start taking notes and research what I'm saying. Not to the, the ones that been here that probably already know what I'm talking about. Those that's here trying to learn. But, and I never heard that before. Dang, you wrong. That ain't it. That's not how it go. I dare you to look it up. I dare you. Right now, you not a U.S. national. You why? Because you claim that you black on paperwork. You claim that you African American through the census. You're not a national. You're not indigenous to this land. You're not a national. You're not indigenous to this land. And those of you that have dual citizenship is not indigenous to this land. It's just that simple. You have to apply for dual citizenship, meaning that you're up under two governments. Don't block them. No, y'all. Mods, don't block them. Let them stay in here and be goofies all day long. But keep in mind, the folks that subscribe to my channel know better. You can't fool them. You can't. You can't influence a crowd of people in the comment section.
Prohibit slavery in the territories. And this basically declares the Republican Party unconstitutional. The Republican platform, Lincoln's platform, which is to prohibit slavery in the territories, the Supreme Court said you can't do that. Slavery is a right to go anywhere within the country in a territory, not a state. A state can abolish slavery. Illinois did. But the territories which belong to the whole country, slavery is a right to go there. The second principle put down by Chief Justice Taney in the Dred Scott decision was that blacks cannot be citizens of the United States. In a sense, Dred Scott can't even sue because he's not an American. This is one of the best examples.
And he's right. And he's right. And I pulled out that legislation. At that time, I told you since 1790, white was the only citizen. You're going to see me bring this up in this video that I'm going to continue to play. You're going to learn, regardless of how upset you are, you're going to learn. We're going to continue on. United States citizens based on their race. See, the text of the 14th Amendment can be misinterpreted in various ways, particularly as highlighted by the Trump administration. While it seems to grant citizenship to everyone, there are significant restrictions. When the amendment was created, it expressly referred to a particular group of people, which is where the discrepancies arise. Can anyone remember which group of people is referenced in the 14th Amendment?
Anyone? 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 Class? Anyone? Anyone? Anyone?
There is a prevalent issue with this that I have covered before in my previous videos. I want to revisit it to help you better understand why this is the case. But before I do so, let's continue so you can hear their perspective first. It goes on to state, but the 14th Amendment has never been interpreted to extend citizenship universally to everyone born in the United States. The 14th Amendment has always excluded from birthright citizenship persons who were born in the United States, but not subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Consistent with this understanding, the Congress has further specified through legislation that a person born in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof is a national and citizen of the United States at birth, 8 U.S.C. 1401, generally mirroring the 14th Amendment's text. Now, this portion can be confusing for those of you who haven't read the 14th Amendment in its entirety. I addressed this topic in my video titled The Dark Untold Creation Story of Black and White People, which explains why, by law, only individuals classified as white, not based on their skin complexion, classified as white, held citizenship in America from 1790 until 1952. This is not a game. Well beyond the 14th Amendment's creation date. And no legislation existed to overturn this law in between that time. In that video, I provided government. Look. Read it. Screenshot it. You think you could debunk me? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Don't worry about them. They just trying to rage bait. Trust me, they here for a reason. They want to learn so bad. You need to screenshot. This is law. Nothing overturned this. And go back on the video I told you, because I'm going to tell you what it changed to in 1952. I do my research. I don't play no games. None. Free white person was the only status that they used for citizens. I don't play no games when it comes to these. If you haven't heard by now, you gonna learn today. And congressional documentation explaining why this is the case. This also explains why the Trump administration is correct in its perspective of the 14th Amendment. The amendment was never meant to grant birthright citizenship to anyone born in the United States and not subject to its jurisdiction. Who can y'all guess that was not subject to this jurisdiction? Can y'all guess in the chat? Who was that? It can only be one group. Listen, that was not subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Who is that? One group. subject to the United States jurisdiction were deemed
I'm looking at the
citizens
chat.
of the United States. Tell you what, listen to Donald Trump explain birthright citizenship just a few days ago at the House GOP.
And as we are fighting hard to get birthright citizenship or automatic citizenship for the children of illegal aliens, that's another way. It's automatic citizenship for children of illegal aliens. That's the other term that they use, which is actually more accurate, more understandable. And it's ridiculous. We're the only country that has it, and certainly the only country that has it to that extent. And it wasn't meant, if you look, it was really meant for children of slaves. This is when it happened. The children of slaves, it was not meant for everyone to come into our country by airplane or charging across the borders from all over the world and think they're going to become citizens. It's not meant for that. It wasn't meant for that. And hopefully at some point the courts will understand that without having to go through a whole big deal. This was meant for the children of slaves, and look at the timing of it and you'll see, and I hope judges will understand that. And it has to stop because it's really hurting our country very badly.
See, this is why I constantly explain that this U.S. citizenship or birthright citizenship became an issue over time because it was never meant for anyone who the government would classify as Black, Negro, African American, or people of color, or any foreigner from a different country or state, territory, or continent who has not been forcefully placed under the jurisdiction of the government of the United States.
Listen. You heard that? You heard that, right? Who was forcefully placed under the jurisdiction? It ain't nobody from South America. It ain't nobody from Central America. It ain't nobody from Africa. It ain't nobody from Europe. It ain't nobody from any part of Asia. Okay.
Only a slave can be forcefully placed under the jurisdiction of a government. This is why Trump repeatedly mentioned that the 14th Amendment was for the children of slaves. And mind you, he did not say any particular race of people. Okay? As I proved in my previous videos, slavery was big business, and slaves of America did not have one set skin complexion, no matter what you were misled to believe. Slavery in America was not about suppressing one group of people. Slavery was about suppressing all groups of people by one governing body. This is why you will find that both indigenous Americans and foreigners who migrated to America worked in the fields along with their children, because slavery back then.
Hold up, Dane. Let this part sink in real quick. Let me get rid of that bar so you can screenshot it. I've been doing this for years. I don't play around. They in them same fields. This is not a game. You were led to believe that all black people were the only slaves this whole time. And they lied about that. They lied about that. I said earlier in this video that slavery was big business. I've been saying that throughout my whole channel. Dang, you need to stop giving the white man. I'm not making this up. Slavery was big business. That means everybody's included. Look, and it's still happening today. You still a slave right now. Right now. Slavery wasn't abolished. They just changed the name.
and went from indentured servitude to employment. Employees, ladies and gentlemen. Nine to 5, 10 to 6, 11 to 7, 12 to 8. I'm talking about that. Clocking in, clocking out. That's what I'm talking about. Indenture servitude is not chattel slave. What's an indenture? Somebody give them the definition of an indenture. I'll do it. Contract. Ain't you filling out your job application? Ain't that a contract? You applying for that job? You better stop playing. Don't try me. I'm going to put you right back in your seat, and you better pick up your pencil and start writing it down. Don't try me. I'm not playing with you. You're going to learn tonight. I don't care how hard it hurt. Again, the truth don't have friends. The truth don't care about your feelings. Indentured servitude, they got paid, right? Ain't you getting paid? They got paid little to nothing, Dane. It's the difference now. They made sure that they was able to afford food and housing back then just as well as they are right now, right? You trying to make ends meet. It's the same shit. What makes you think you... Huh? It's great. I want you to ask questions. State statements. I'll make sure it's clear. That's what I'm here for. I remember in the past, people was misinterpreting what I was saying about the slave trade. I never told you that the slave trade never existed. I told you the slave trade was told to you in reverse. Dane was saying the slave trade never, I never said that. When I could pull these pictures up quickly. I said the slave trade was told to you in reverse. The majority of the slaves weren't your people. It was them. They were running from enslavement. Slave, Slav. Look up Slav. Slavic nations. Look it up. This is old. It's been around for decades now. Pick up a book, start reading. Yeah, I exposed them Euro peons. Yeah, peons. Euro, peon. Money making slave, huh? It's too easy. What's a peon? Then they confused you by giving you these statuses. Black is white. White is black. And they got nothing to do with your skin complexion. Your skin complexion is not black. Their skin complexion is not white. They got a pale skin complexion. You got different shades of the color brown as your skin complexion. But you want to holler, you black. You black. And then letting other people tell you that you black. You got the nerve to come to me like you know something. You must be out your mind. You still learning. This wasn't for views. This wasn't for money. I did this because I was nosy and intrigued about what the hell happened here. And I said, every bit of my research I'm going to put out. And I made millions of people learn. Y'all got mad at the messenger. You was putting that anger at the wrong person or at the wrong thing. You should have been mad because of the message I was giving was the truth. That should have allowed you to do better. You want to be right and exact. You got to be right and exact. Screenshot this, y'all. Post this everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, post it. They need to see that. Just as well as our people was working in the field, so were they. Simultaneously. They don't want you to, look, the reason why you weren't taught about that part was because they want to keep themselves at the top. That's an illusion of inclusion. This is the reason why they always try to down you, okay? Because they make it fun of you. They saying, all right, we'll go back to Africa then. When when you claim that you were a slave, our people suffer from slavery. And you got that slave mentality. We owed a whole bunch of stuff, I'm just saying. I don't disagree with you on the fact that we are owed a bunch of stuff, but you got to stop crying to your enemy for it. Like, you can't just, bruh, real talk. That's just like your enemy walking up on you, getting rid of your whole family, and then when it come to you, you beg for mercy. And you think the enemy going to let that slide? After he done got rid of your whole family and come to you, and then it's your turn. Why are you going to your enemy for a handout? Because they owe. They gave everybody else. Look, bro, hold on. Let me show you something. Look real quick, bro. Look real quick. Reparation settlements. For slavery, Jim Crow, land theft, convict leasing, $0 from 1865 to present. Everybody else got billions and billions of dollars. You see this? For whatever it was. A lot of that stuff that was going to the so-called Native Americans was supposed to be going to us. But you don't know that because you so indoctrinated with the, oh, I'm from Africa. Then the Africans come up and tell you, no, you're not. No, you're not. You weren't captured from Africa and brought to America. You giving these people too much credit. They ain't give you no names, no nothing. Then they told you one of the names of the boats was Jesus. They was rubbing it in your face, making fun of you. That's a slap in the face. And you still falling for it, still to this very day, 2025. Wake up. They never told you the part of Africa that they captured you from. They never told you the tribe, none of that. They never told you how they communicated through language. None of that. They just all of a sudden went to some part of West Africa and captured millions and put them on boats and then took them to a whole nother landmass that they were unfamiliar with, which was America, right? You giving them folks too much credit. What was the army? What war took place? Stop playing, bro. If you're going to be a prisoner, it's going to be a prisoner of war. What war took place in order for that to happen? Nah, Dane, they were stealing them Africans out of the jails in Africa. Where's that documented at? Where? It was 61 documented wars in America. 61. You only know about the War of 1812 and the Civil War and World War I, World War II. 61 documented wars. And guess who they was fighting? You could tell who they was fighting because look who they hired in their armies to go fight other people. On both sides now, even the Civil War. Don't make me get on that Civil War. They made you believe that Confederate flag was the KKK's flag. And when I showed y'all that the KKK's flag was the American flag, I need to repost that video. It's been a while. They never claimed that flag at all. Our ancestors had that flag before anybody with their tribes written on it. All throughout the South here. And you mean to tell me just because some of them white folks was in the South and saw our ancestors and some of our ancestors helped them and they got good with some of the tribes. I ain't gonna name them names. And then all of a sudden they raising that flag up. That it's racist, it's a rebel flag, and nah, you better not be doing that. Don't touch that. Y'all, they made y'all turn y'all nose up to that. The whole time that was your flag. Indigenous to this land. That flag was existing before the American flag. It didn't start because of the Confederate States and when they started, no. We had confederations throughout America. Where you think they got the Bill of Rights from? You think they came up with that on their own? The Constitution, you think they came up with that on their own? Land of the free, home of the brave. Who you think they, come on, bro. Who you think they copied? They still copying. Mascots of football teams, basketball teams, baseball team, and you think the government ain't do the same thing? Nah, Dane, they paying homage. And so what's the government doing? Y'all better stop playing. You're gonna learn today. Is today's employment.
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
Listen, these U.S. laws have many loopholes, and foreigners, including those who have citizenship right now, use these loopholes to their advantage to play the privilege game. The U.S. government has allowed this since its inception, of course, because it figured out a way to take care of its own people who were migrating from other continents to North America. Hold on, look at that. Look at that. Look, let that sink in. I ain't gonna say nothing, just read it. And that was the survey done in 2022. Immigrants enjoy better Social Security returns than U.S. natives. But I want you to look at that graphic to the right. The blue is illegal immigrants. Any welfare, they are the highest in receipt. Remember when people say that, nah, y'all, no, come on, y'all. No, it's white people that get more welfare than anybody else. You know why? because they're giving it to immigrants, legal and illegal. This ain't nothing new, y'all. It's just that some of y'all don't want to look at it. This ain't nothing new. You should know that by now. Why you think you can't get that loan from the bank? Why you think you can't get that house that's in that particular neighborhood? They redlined your neighborhood. You automatically got bad credit. I went over redlining too. Years ago. Like 2017, if I'm not mistaken. That's done on purpose. They know where you live at and kept you in there. And you think that's not a reservation reserved for you to stay there? You got another thing coming. Just because certain parts of that area may look like it's middle class don't mean nothing demographically when it comes to what they doing. And who they ditching out the paperwork or the paper money to. Your voice don't count, never did. They don't care how much you yell, scream, march, kneel. It don't matter. Again, this government has never been for you. It never was built for you. Never was. But yet, we need to get more Niji in the Congress. And then what? We got a whole, what they call themselves, the Black Caucus. Been in there for years and name something to change. Remember when I showed y'all yesterday? That Ayanna Pressley girl?
Look, let me tell you something. I'll take a bit of umbrage here. I'll speak on behalf of my colleagues. I think I can say we are all willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people.
Censoring the American people.
And advancing progress.
And advancing progress. The progress of who, young lady? Who? Oh, she got her stuff. She worked for the government. Oh, she a Democrat. Massachusetts 7th District. She know what she talking about. She in Congress. We need to listen to her. No, the hell we don't. She said censoring the American people.
One who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people and advancing progress.
No. Really? And then turn around and want to do what for reparations? Oh, yeah, you're going to learn today.
All right, good afternoon, and thank you, everyone, for braving the inclement weather as we gather to take an essential step forward in the long and ongoing fight for justice, accountability, and healing for Black America. Today, I'm deeply honored to reintroduce H.R. 40, historic legislation to establish a federal commission to examine the lasting legacy of slavery, to develop reparations proposals for descendants of enslaved Africans. It is an honor to inherit the privilege of carrying this bill forward.
The fake cry.
From Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee.
The Christian in the back. Amen. Come on, bro. The same old, bro. The same old, bro. Now she wants to reintroduce H.R. 40, y'all. H.R. 40 ain't nothing but a study about what happened here in America. How many more times are you going to study? How many more times? She there to reintroduce it. Come on, y'all. Seriously. You ain't tired of this shit yet? 1989 is when this came out, and then she want to reintroduce it.
Thank you, everyone, for braving the inclement weather as we gather to take an essential step forward in the long and ongoing fight for justice, accountability, and healing for Black America. Today, I'm deeply honored to reintroduce H.R. 40, historic legislation to establish a federal commission to examine the lasting.
To examine.
To examine the lasting.
To examine.
To examine the lasting.
To examine, not to do nothing else. I don't want to hear this shit no more. When that chart says 0 at the top, when it come to reparations or restitutions for slavery, that means the government ain't gonna do it. State governments ain't gonna do it. Straight up. But these Republicans and Democrats are running with it because they just want to garner your vote. How many more times you gonna fall for the same old? But yet, this the same woman that want to suppress, that want to censor Americans. Same one. But she over here want to cry slavery for the enslaved, and she wrong. Enslaved African for the enslaved African. It's touching my son. But when it comes to these white folks, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to tell them.
Look, let me tell you something. I'll take a bit of umbrage here. I'll speak on behalf of my colleagues. I think I can say we are all willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people and advancing progress. But they are not serious.
And neither are you. You shouldn't be taken seriously. Meanwhile, why y'all think the Mexicans and all the rest of South America that's over here in America protesting? Not only are they holding up their country's flag, they holding up the American flag. Why y'all think this is going on? Look, real talk, why do y'all think that's happening? This was in Los Angeles, by the way. Multiple flags of people from South America. I hope I didn't say South Africa earlier because I meant to say South America. Holding up their flags, including the American flag. Why? Why do you think this is the case? You think none of this is politically driven? You don't think this was done by design? All of a sudden, they got a problem. Because Trump threatened mass deportations. When Obama was president, he has the highest numbers out of everybody. I believe it was between 3 to 5 million. Trump not even at 100,000 right now. And oh, wait, South America tripping? Or South Americans are tripping? Now, the reason why they tripping is because, you know what? The government reneged on their deal. Don't forget they are getting a lot more than you are. When it comes to benefits from the government, don't forget that the government provides them these benefits. They mad, and on top of that, some of their family members are being deported. Of course they upset. They're in the street like, wait a minute, that's not why we came here to America. Hold up, man. Y'all said this is going to be a new world for us. Don't forget that they called this landmass the New World. Yeah, no, we need to take to the streets. Nah, man, we love America. We want to live the American dream. Nobody defined the American dream. And I want y'all to think about that now. What's the American dream for so-called Black Americans? What is it? I mean, you wonder why, you wonder where your tax dollars going and all the rest of this stuff, and Trump doing away with IRS. That's not for your benefit. That will be benefiting all of Americans, not just for you. But they out there for a reason. They was getting a lot of assistance. Over you. They were sticking together. They were helping each other for years. I remember one year I told y'all that the Latinos were the new Negroes. In Americans' government eyes. Some of them was out there working up under the table, building up beautiful homes. Okay? What for them white folks? You think them white folks wanted that to stop? Yeah. No, and our people not out there with them. No. All South Americans. Police couldn't do nothing. This protest went on until nighttime in LA. By the time it was over with, the police just shut their lights off, ain't arrested nobody, and went home. No arrests were made. They knew better. They knew the South Americans had a point. Just like anybody else that came over here, the Africans, the Europeans, anybody. All of them know when they come over here, they supposed to be receiving benefits from the government. It's been happening for eons, ever since the 1850s. 1853 to be exact. And again, I repeat this again, we ain't receiving none of that. If we was, we'll be out in them streets right with them. Like, right with them. This is supposed to be our opportunity to take advantage of this, to be honest with you, to put ourselves in a better position. But I'm jumping ahead. What were we at? Hold on. I forgot where we were at. We were right here. Yeah, we were right here. All right, here we go.
By one governing body. This is why you will find that both indigenous Americans and foreigners who migrated to America worked in the fields along with their children, because slavery back then is today's employment.
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
Listen, these U.S. laws have many loopholes, and foreigners, including those who have citizenship right now, use these loopholes to their advantage to play the privilege game. The U.S. government has allowed this since.
Another reason why I told you I'm gonna cut in. Another reason why this is the privilege game, and the reason why you see those people protesting is because they are all labeled as white. White is supposed to receive a special privilege. Don't forget that. I proved that the status of white was the only status that the U.S. government recognized as the citizens of America, or citizens of the U.S., should I say. So when they start excluding, certain other foreigners, they like, wait a minute, why y'all kicking us out and not everybody else? So yes, they have the right to be upset, their own right to be upset in that sense. We have a different right to be upset. What privileges are we receiving that everybody else don't got already? I'll wait.
Inception, of course.
Oh, no, I've been telling you the solutions. Every time I get on here, I tell you the solutions. Every single time.
Use these loopholes
I
to
even
their
tell you in
advantage
here.
to play the privilege game. The U.S. government has allowed this since
y'all don't be doing. See,
of course,
that's another thing. Y'all don't be doing that to them white folks. Y'all be doing that to me. When it comes to the white folks, they got all day long to explain their case. Y'all don't be, what's the solution? Y'all don't be doing that to them white folks at all, but you do it to me. Right? Well, he don't know nothing. What's the solution then? Like, you gonna do something if I tell you. What you gonna do? When I tell you to look in the mirror and ask yourself, what is the solution? And you can't answer yourself, then what? Then what? when I'm going over the issues, there is a solution right behind it. We don't gotta play the get along game. They not playing it with us. These charts, you can clearly see them. They don't care about you. They only care about their own people. So what's the problem? The problem is that we giving them our money, our tax dollars. We giving them our talents. That stuff need to be circulating between us. We need to be segregated. The problem started happening once we desegregated. We need to be segregated. They just running us over. The foreigners still coming over here. They coming over here because the government helping them. And they pointing the finger, laughing at us, ha ha. Just like Martin Luther King said, and he said the government basically said they ought to lift themselves by their own bootstraps. Name a time that we lift ourselves by our own bootstraps. After Martin Luther King. After Martin Luther King. And they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. That's what he said, verbatim. We never decided to do that after the Civil Rights era. This whole time, we were depending on everything else and not ourselves. And then we beat on each other so bad. That's what the government was banking on. Okay? The government was banking on that. You can't understand why your own brother and sister that share the same skin complexion as you is your enemy. We holding each other back. We could have been got this done a long time ago. There's nothing out here stopping us. And Trump will be the one to step out of the way. Trump will be the one that will probably be willing to work with us. Whatever we come up with and make happen, when it come to our own nation, right here, as nationals, I told you we already got the freedom to assemble. I went over this. We could do anything that we want to do right here in our own land. But it's up to us to do it. And it can't be just one leader. We did that before. It can't be just one leader stepping up saying, all right, boom, come on, y'all follow me. Nah, the enemy can easily take that person out using our own people, by the way. Everybody got to be leaders. That's why I said, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself that question. What's the solution? But it's about unity, Dane. Not everybody going to be thinking the same. Not everybody going to be able to come together. All we need is 13% of our people to come together. Everybody else going to follow suit. I've been saying it for years. I've been giving the solutions for years. This is not hard. This is not impossible. And I already know what's happening because I see the progression. I see the change. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Regardless if you like it or not. But you still want to cling on to the African American and the black and okay. All right. You're going to get left behind. You still want to be a citizen of this government? Keep in mind, a national is still a citizen, but not under the jurisdiction thereof. You're going to hear in this video, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, the Indians were not a part of the 14th Amendment. This is the part where I was talking about, like when it comes to the slaves, how he didn't mention a particular race, and he's right by not mentioning a particular race because it was all people. And slave masters didn't have a particular race neither, or employers rather didn't have a particular race neither. It was our own people hiring our own people as well. It was our own people hiring foreigners as well. Historically. When they say slave trade, who were they trading with? A trade didn't happen. Not in that sense, where we were trading with someone else. The trade was commerce. Commerce, trade, working, employment. Think! You go to trade school to learn what? Think! It's not hard. Yeah, they call English a trade language. Sure did, pidgin language. Called it a trade language. I show you Noah Webster said, nah, the English language was made up of 26 different indigenous tongues found only here in America. Not no mix of German, not no mix of no other language. Just only languages here found in America. That's what made up English. And that was the first person to create the American dictionary. Correction. The dictionary of the American language, or the American dictionary of the English language. There we go. The American dictionary of the English language. First one. All the way back to the Blue Book. It was Noah Webster. And he was an immigrant. And he ain't had no reason to lie. He learned it just as well as everybody else did when they got here. Not from where they from, when they got here. This is real deep. Real deep. Yesterday when I was talking about when I said that the Mexicans are indigenous to the Americas, certain people's like, no, they not. They mixed in with the Spaniards. You right about that. They did mix with the Spaniards. Okay, the Europeans did mix with the indigenous tribes of that landmass. That's true. The indigenous people are still there, though. They're not all the way gone. And they look like you and I. Just like I'm telling you, you start visiting areas in South America, you ain't gonna be able to tell the difference when you look at us, except for when they open up their mouth and you hear a different tongue. The Americas, y'all. North, Central, and South. Divided by an imaginary line. They worried about sending them back home, which is 5 minutes away, right? What about these Europeans? Bro, we don't see no pictures, no video of those Europeans or them Asians being sent back. And we know they here legally too. East Indians also. I'm almost forgot about them. This is not a game. But yet they able to become your doctors, your lawyers, senators and congressmen and mayors and CEOs of this and that. And they're not only driving, the Uber car. They're not only coming to your house doing DoorDash. They're doing any and everything that they can because that's one of their main duties in order for them to get off that green card. They got to work. A lot of them are involved in the military as well. I also showed you in a video that when they join the military, that allows their time to get off their green card to be expedited. They don't have to wait for 5 to 7 years to get their dual citizenship or to get their nationality ID. So when somebody say, what's your nationality? You tell them American. When somebody say, what's your nationality? You tell them American. When you visit other areas like I have, they're not going to call you Black American. That part, not that. That's not a nationality. The nationality is American. This is not a game. They not gonna call you, oh, you American. As soon as you open up your mouth, oh, you American. The Africans gonna state the same thing. How you doing, my brother? Where are you from? Oh, I'm from you from America. I can hear it. Oh, I always wanted to visit. See how I'm learning English right now. It's not a game. They waiting on you. Y'all worried about everybody else. They ain't worried about you. When they come over here to America, they getting theirs, and they doing exactly what they supposed to be doing, keeping you blind. That's why certain people out there call certain people out there tethers. We ain't gonna say no names. Y'all can say the names in the chat. And remember, I told you that particular person has a point. There is certain points that I agree with, just like there is certain points that they agree with me when it comes to that note. Okay? Those tethers out there trying to distract you from the truth about who you really are. Like, for example, when they come up in my chat talking that BS, I know they tethers. That's the reason why they hide in their face. That's the reason why they won't pop up on the panel when I open up the panel. They going to hide their voice. Sometimes they'll disguise their voice so you can't tell. Okay? What's the brother's name? That's the actress, and he from London. I forgot his name. He a good actress. I like him. But he put on that English accent real good. What's the brother name? He even worked with Denzel Washington, an American Gangster. He did an excellent job. And Idris, yeah, that's his name. He does an excellent job in what was that one? The Western movie, y'all. I was about to say Leave the World Behind. It's not Leave the World Behind. I forgot the name of that movie that Jay-Z produced. Y'all know what I'm talking about? No, not The Wire. He did it. Yeah, The Harder They Fall. Thank you. The Harder They Fall. He did an excellent job. Very good job. He does a very good job. But he puts that accent on. So you think, like, come on, think about that. That means that they're studying us. They have been. All the foreigners have been studying us and copying us. Why you think they didn't want to be a part, and shout out to Lord Jamal. Why you think they want to be a part of hip hop when they know they copy? They know that came from here. From here now. It didn't start nowhere else. It was here. Ben had it. Ben had it before rappers were considered rappers. We was already rhyming and grooving to the beat years ago. Black and white pictures. My family member, Cab Calloway, was kicking tail. You want me to go further back? Cab Calloway was going ham. You understand me? And sometimes he'll throw a little Spanish at you. He was letting you know, don't get it twisted. I can speak these languages. That's why them ladies was loving him. Shout out to the Callaways out there. Y'all know what time it is. Yeah, man, we been doing that, man. The bebop before the boom bap. This ain't nothing new. My wife texted me. My dog's barking. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me make sure everything's straight. Oh. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, hold on. My dog's barking. Hold on. Somebody might be at the gate. Hold on. Let me pull them cameras up. God damn it. Oh, all right, hold on. It's bad timing. Hold on. I'm live. Hold on. Let me play this video. As a matter of fact, I'm going to continue to play the video. Let me come right back. Got a way to take care of its own people. who were migrating from other continents to North America
Hold
back
it down
then.
for me, y'all. Hold it down.
Doesn't this sound all too familiar? Here, let me refresh your memory.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. Which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with. And this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
I've said before that this is part of the reason why they eliminated Martin Luther King Jr. He exposed the games being played a long time ago, and this situation continues today. Foreigners still receive various forms of assistance from the U.S. government, even if their status is illegal. This is why many people believe Donald Trump is focused on preventing these deceitful acts from occurring immediately. Now, I think that if this executive order eventually becomes lawful, millions of people who are residing in America right now are in trouble, and not just illegal immigrants. But anyway, let's continue. Among the categories of individuals born in the United States and not subject to the jurisdiction thereof, the privilege of United States citizenship does not automatically extend to persons born in the United States. 1, when that person's mother was unlawfully present in the United States and the father was not a United States citizen or lawful permanent resident at the time of said person's birth. Or 2, when that person's mother's presence in the United States at the time of said person's birth was lawful but temporary, and the father was not a United States citizen or lawful permanent resident at the time of said person's birth. Now, this means that people like Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, and millions of others fall into the category of individuals who might be excluded from U.S. birthright citizenship. This situation has surprised many who consider themselves Americans, particularly in the light of the actions taken by the Trump administration. This group includes individuals living in the country illegally, such as those falsely identifying as Native Americans, as well as those who inadvertently refer to themselves as undocumented immigrants, including Black and African American individuals. Keep in mind that you are seeing reports of Native Americans being harassed, arrested, and threatened to be deported to Mexico for a couple of reasons. Number 1, the terms African American, Black, and Native American are all politically driven social constructs that the government created under the guise of political correctness. These terms have not been officially recognized in law as a way to classify groups of United States citizens. Because if they were, then U.S. citizenship would have specific labels, distinguishing Africans as Africans, Americans as Americans, and Indians as Indians, among others. Now, this is different from the U.S. Census, which focuses on enumerating the population of America rather than granting citizenship to those counted in the census. Okay? So just because you labeled yourself as Black on the census does not grant you U.S. citizenship automatically. Notice how you still do not have the term black as your classification of race on your original, not a recent copy, on your original birth certificate. Also, the label Indian was not used before the use of the term people of color by the census. However, the government did use the term Indian throughout multiple legislations dating back to the Continental Congress and the War Department times. I brought this up because it exposes how the term Native American was never legally determined to solely refer to the people known as American Indians. And to that point, the terms Black, African American, and Negro was never legally determined to refer to so-called people of color solely. This leaves these groups vulnerable to infiltration, allowing anyone, especially foreigners, to self-determine which group of people they would like to be associated with through transportation. My wife and I discussed this in detail in the video titled, "Why the First Americans Were Not Native Americans." Millions of these people are immigrants from other continents who are either Siberian or some other Asian European descent. Some of these immigrants have gone through the process of becoming legal U.S. citizens, while some are still illegally here in America. Still, both claim to be Black, African American, or Native American, for example, based on their skin complexions being colored, allowing them to blend in with us, or by way of society's understanding of these politically driven social constructs. Here, look, I'll play a few clips of the video I'm referring to so you could get a gist of what information you could expect to learn more about when you go and watch it. The term Native American was later used by the U.S. Census to refer to a group of people that was originally called Indians by this government, allegedly, which means that there are now separate terms for a group of people that were once all referred to as Indians. Listen closely. According to the 1828 Webster's English Language Dictionary, the term Indian is defined as a general name of any native of the Indies, as in East Indian or West Indian. It is particularly applied to any native of the American continent. And in this same English language dictionary of 1828, it defines the noun American as a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. This means that the copper-colored races, or the Aboriginal Nijis of Turtle Island, who are now being misclassified as Black, are the original inhabitants of America. But since small to large migrations of foreigners from other continents became a viral trend during the early 1800s, the identities of the Niji were replaced by incoming foreigners. And then everyone residing in America was later referred to as Native Americans. But how is it that all of a sudden,
by the way,
a group of people that were not genetically nor historically associated with the term Indian in its entirety are now somehow referred to as Native Americans as their classification of race by the U.S. Census?
Y'all gotta see that video.
The more commonly known explanation of the term native is a person born in any place, whether country, city, or town. So if you are born in one place, no matter if your parents were originally born there or not, you are then called a native, no matter your historic genetic origins. However, the etymology of the word bears a totally different meaning than one may assume. It states that the term native is defined as a person born in bondage, one born a serf or villain. A serf is an agricultural laborer bound under the feudal system to work on his lord's estate. And a villain is a feudal tenant, entirely subject to a lord or manor to whom he pays dues and serves in return for land. So, in other words, the general use of the word native referred to individuals who were literally employees, or rather peasants or laborers or servants or slaves to some form of foreign dictatorship, working to pay off their dues in hopes of being granted land in return. Doesn't this sound all too familiar? And why would the term Native American be associated with pale-complexioned foreigners if American history exclusively labels the descendants of so-called black people as the slaves of the slave trade era?
They were telling you just didn't pay attention.
You see how they can easily blend in with you, being as though you didn't know that your indigenous bloodline is what they were after, to replace you with them so that they could control the waterways and then the land of America, of Turtle Island. It is essential to recognize this, as it highlights one of the utilitarian loopholes I mentioned earlier. They fully exploit this situation because they view indigenous Niji of America as the most vulnerable to being affected by stolen identity and paper genocide.
Who are you? You don't know. Don't tell me Negro, that's nothing. What were you before the white man named you a Negro? And where were you? And what did you have? What was yours? What language did you speak then? 20 million black people don't even know their own language. Why? Because he took it away from them. 20 million black people who don't even know the history of their ancestors. Why? Because he took it away from them. And if you try and tell them how thoroughly and completely they've been robbed, he says you're teaching hate. Dark people who have been oppressed and exploited by those who are not their own kind, strangers. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy. Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. You never find a white aborigine. Rather, aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't like to be called an aborigine. You want to be called an American.
This is still Malcolm X.
Aborigine actually means from the beginning. It's two Latin words. Ab meaning from, origine meaning the beginning. Ab meaning from, origine meaning the beginning. Ab meaning from, origine meaning the beginning. Ab meaning from, origine meaning the beginning.
We, as indigenous Niji, are owed land and money from this foreign government, and we have allowed these strangers to take our place when it was rightfully ours to begin with. It's time to stop crying to our enemies about what they don't do for us and instead depend on each other to do for us.
Here we go.
Woo! Hallelujah!
Oh, I'm not finished. I'm just making sure you can see everything one at a time, just in case. Because there are some people out there who know Native Americans who were born in the U.S. were not covered by the 14th Amendment. A total of 125,000 people became legal citizens by way of the Indian Citizenship Act of 1924. Listen, the term Native American was not mentioned anywhere in this legislation at all.
At all.
Creating a loophole for anyone knowledgeable about this to exploit it. Which should make you wonder how illegal immigrants can be treated differently when none of our people invited any of them here in the first place. Wake up, you sleeping giants. I'm trying to tell you. That was part one. So I could go deeper, but I know a lot of people couldn't catch that one. Like, dealing with these statuses. They can't fathom the fact that it was only white as the U.S. citizen. They didn't know, which is okay. I'm trying to give it to them. But you can't debunk it when I'm giving you the government documentation as well. You can't. There's no way around it. From 1790. And I gave you the video where I went further in depth with it. So you could go back and watch that. Take notes. You know, we need to correct this. It's not hard. It's not impossible. It's achievable. It's not over with. We're still living today. We owe our ancestors a favor. Okay? There's a lot of our people out there right now that are doing our ancestors a disservice by discrediting them and saying what they know about their families doesn't count. They say, no. The white man said that we came from Africa. That's what counts. Right? They give you the McCall Hill books in school. Everybody got taught the exact same thing. I don't care if your school was better than the other. Everybody had the same books. McGraw-Hill. And then later on, it was McGraw-Pearson, right? Or Pearson-McGraw. It was only two companies running the show. But that's federally mandated. That's another thing Trump trying to get rid of. I mentioned that during the last live stream. He getting rid of the Department of Education. I mean, for real, wipe it clean. Wipe it clean. It was doing us a disservice anyway. It needs to be back on the parents to tell their children about their family and about their family's history. I told you, me personally, my family got me squared away quick. As soon as I thought it was one thing, they was like, now hold on, let me show you. I just hope that everybody pays attention to that point, because latching yourself onto these terms, they could easily revoke your status as a citizen. Again, still, Black has never been considered a citizen of America. African American has never been considered a citizen of America. And I told you in this video that the U.S. Census does not count. The U.S. Census does not determine who is a citizen. It's only referring to the enumeration of the population. So don't get it confused. They are not one and the same. The same time they said who the citizens were in 1790, that same year they started the census, counting people. Not everybody was enumerated. Not everybody became white as the status either. That needs to be looked into by a lot of you, because we have to make changes. Progress has to be made, but the first step is to take care of this identity portion. Stolen identity happened, guys. Again, you already aware of the fact that they are clinging on to our cultures, our traditions, and copying, running with it. A whole bunch of companies doing it too, not only just people. That's how we made these social media pages get popular. MySpace, Black Planet, Facebook. If it was Instagram, if it wasn't for us, TikTok, they wouldn't have got popular. We set the trends. We are the originators. Everybody know it, but you. But you. Got everybody wanting to, they talking about Kendrick Lamar. Right? He'll need you. Hands down. Right? That trend, the trend. It's a trend. They are hard back go talk. They go hop on them trends. We always setting the trends. and everybody else copying. It never fails. Ever since the 1600s. They saw our ancestors' confederacies and how we were set up and designed and civilizing ourselves. They needed to do something in order to bring themselves up when they was running from enslavement from their own countries. They got here, their people was dying. They ain't have no food. They couldn't grow no food. They ain't had no place to live. None of that. No shelter, none of that. They didn't even have clothes on their back coming off of those boats, begging and pleading with our ancestors to take them in into their tribes, into their clans. They said, okay, well, since everybody dying and not everybody's sticking, they start sending children. They start sending children by the hundreds. And you know how we do. That's our saying to say it takes a village to raise a child. Our people get, oh, look at this baby. Hold on, I can't leave this baby out here like that. That's what happened. Now all of a sudden they want to claim that they us. And they kicked us out. It has to change. And it will. It will. I'm not the only one that know this information. I don't claim to be the only one that know this information. But I know I do an amazing job working my ass off diligently to put this information out there the best way I can in order for our people to wake the fuck up and stop playing. Let's get this shit done. We could do it. We could count on each other. We can. We can. We're beautiful people. I love each and every one of y'all. I do. No matter what, even if you hating, I still love you. Because I know sooner or later it's going to click. You're going to be able to hear that alarm clock. You're going to be able to hear me. That's why you over here. I'm your alarm clock. Everybody wakes up at different times. I'm just going to continue to be the alarm clock. No matter what you say, no matter what you feel. And you typing in a chat with emotion. Like, no, bro. Think before you speak. Think about it. I'm not lying to you. Why? For what? I wouldn't be here this long if that was the case. I wouldn't be at 550,000 subscribers if that's the case. That's not it. Nah, bro. 68 million views altogether. This was a lot of work. And there's going to be a lot more work done than just being on YouTube here. And you hearing that from me. And that's getting worked on right now. I'm talking about a lot more work than just being on YouTube. And ain't never one of y'all going to know the plan until it happen. Because I don't want no infiltrators. You ain't stopping nothing. You ain't stopping. And think you about to pull up on my residence and ain't one of us strapped and think we ain't put your ass. We out here in Texas. Pull up. I dare you. We could shoot first and ask questions later. Try to stop me and think. And look, even if you try to take me out, it's going to be others that already got this information ready to put it out here. I've been teaching a lot of people for some years now. It's going to come out. Regardless. All of us are leaders. Just because you try to take out one leader don't mean another one ain't popping up. And we don't got to wait 20 to 30 years for it to happen. It'll be the next day, goddammit. I love my people that much. I told you I was on the front line. Told you. I wasn't playing. Some little folks got mad, tried to say that we was discriminating against them, right? They tried to sue, right? Guess what happened? Hey, baby, tell them what happened, babe. Huh? Do me a favor, and if you haven't already, I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Turn your post notifications on. I'm going to go live again tomorrow. I said I wasn't going to be long this time around. And this wasn't even a topic that I wanted to talk about tonight, by the way. It was just questions that new people had, and I wanted to answer it. Okay? And I said to myself, even if you don't get it tonight, more coming. This is not the only time I'm going to touch on this topic. It hasn't been. As you can see in that video, I was pointing back on other videos. It ain't over. This is an ongoing process, you know. The wheels are moving overnight, but that doesn't mean the overall goal is achieved overnight. We still got more work to do. It's not over with, ladies and gentlemen. This is spiritual warfare. Let me shout out my folk real quick, y'all. Let me double check, make sure. Cause I want to make sure I ain't forgetting nothing. I'm gonna do that. That's automatic with me. Okay, yeah, I said that. I'm just double checking, making sure. Hold up, okay, and then okay, Larry, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Shout out to all the new members and shout out to the members that been with me for a long time. Shout out to the members that just became members. I love y'all. Carolina been a member. Carolina Ryder been a member for 66 months in a row. He said, OCO.
Free thinkers.
OCO family, how you? Ashley Walker, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Bonita Ward, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Sassy Brown, Sassy Brown, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Chris Williams, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Hold on, let me double check. Shout out to Anthony for the Cash App as well. Thank you. And thank you again, Sharon. I appreciate that. Tomorrow, I'm going to go a little early. Hopefully. Hopefully, I'm a little earlier tomorrow. I was a little late tonight. And I'm going to go over what I wanted to go over tonight, I'm going to go over it tomorrow. So I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Yeah, what? Look, hey, hold up. My wife came up here thick. I got to handle some business. You understand what I'm saying? Indigenous Barbie, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the 5 gifted. Yeah, she put on her outfit. I said, huh? I said, oh, okay, it's you need my assistance. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, look, we family, I could talk. You know, I'm married. You know, I could talk like, you know what I'm saying? But she came up here thick. You know, I'm like, I gotta handle some business real quick. So, I mean, you know, I'm talking about work, y'all. I'm talking about my work. You know, I you know. Catrice, thank you for becoming a member, Catrice. Nah, we ain't making another baby. Stop, Ebony. Why y'all doing that? We not having no more churn. We got 5. We good. We don't need no more churn. We good. Don't do that, y'all. We don't need to, nah, man. We don't need no more churn. You gonna make a Scorpio? Y'all, I'm getting off. Y'all, that's not fair. That's not fair, Edith, but what up, right? Y'all so silly. Don't put that on us like that, man. We ain't doing no more churn. That's it. That's it. How to get past the 1850 brick wall and get inside of the 13% community server, please, so I can know where you at. Moderators and administrators, can y'all do me a quick favor and hit the 13% link in their chat for the family so they can get up in there so we can have a conversation. Not only can you conversate with other people within the community, look, that's the link that's popping up right there. Click that link. But I also pop up in there too, and you'll be able to speak to me directly. Okay? So, and anybody, that goes for anybody. Y'all hit that link. If y'all have questions about genealogy, I need to know where y'all at. We could talk one-on-one. If I need you to share some stuff with me on a personal note, to DM me. Yes. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm here for. Danelle, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. And DeMarcus, thank you for the donation. Hold up. Why am I receiving that late? Hold on. Oh, no. I'm right. Let me double check, y'all. Hold on. Let me double check because I think I may have missed. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. I think I'm good. I hope I ain't missed nobody. If I did, I apologize and I love you, okay? I think I'm good to go because it don't say it on both of my screens. I got 4 girls. Hold on. You got what now? I got 4 girls and a set of twins? No, thank you. That's a no-no for me. That's it. I'm good with. Let's stop talking about churn. I'm good, y'all. Come on now. Did you see the plane or the paper I sent you about the African civil rights chick that died in the plane crash? And the African civil rights chick? Who? What's her name? I already covered that, by the way. And one of the ladies that died that was on a plane in D.C. was already a 13% community member. Okay. I don't want to bring that back up because it's a sad situation. And you could be talking about her because she's a lawyer. But I already did that. You could go back and watch that video. That's a very sad situation. But yeah, her name was Kia Duggins. Kia Duggins. If you're referring to Kia Duggins, yes. May she rest well. But yeah, Kia was cool ever since 2017, man. Okay. Yeah, let me go ahead because now he didn't change the God, man. He changed the mood. It is a lot going on these days. Yep. Yeah, that's her. Yeah. Nah, she was good. She was good. Not African civil rights. She was a civil rights lawyer. There's no such thing as African civil rights, by the way. Nah, you good. Everything, no, you good. You don't even gotta apologize, brother. I make mistakes just as well as you do. I have 13 sets of twins in my family. Oh no. Everybody stay away from Deshaun. No, I'm just playing. Just think beat. Shut up, Blue. Shout out to all the moderators and administrators. I love y'all, family. Y'all know I do. Firm handshakes to the men. You know, big old hugs to the ladies. I appreciate y'all holding it down as always. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Y'all take care for the rest of your evening. Have a great evening. Think positive. Have great thoughts. Have a great dream. Take them electronics out your bedroom. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Wado.
I'm just here to make you think.
Yeah, DN.